Good morning, guys. I was just on a live and you guys asked me to make a video about how to self-regulate, especially for the holidays when somebody's gonna trigger you, because there's always that judgy McJudgerson that seems to pop up and kind of make us feel crappy with their comments, right? You need to practice this from now until then, once or maybe twice a day, because if you don't become a master at regulating your emotions when you're face to face with somebody who is triggering you or saying triggering things. You won't know how to regulate because you didn't practice. And then chances are you're gonna react the same way that you used to. And then you're the bad guy, right? Because they're mean, you're having an emotional reaction to them, but somehow it's twisted around and you're the bad guy. So the first step is to practice releasing control. You cannot control how other people talk, how they respond to things, how they process, if they're going to therapy or not. We can't control anything of what other people are doing. So first thing in the morning, say to yourself, I release control. I can't control what they feel, what they say, or how they act. I can just control how I respond. Second step is the most important. It's self-validation. Not telling yourself it's okay, you're gonna be fine. Because if you're angry and you're in survival, high beta brainwaves, because somebody is a threat to you and feels like it's an attack on your personality and your emotions are, and then somebody's like, it's okay, you'll be fine. You wanna tell them to shut up. So don't say that to yourself. Tell yourself, it's okay to feel. I'm allowed to feel. Your emotions are valid. It's okay to feel. You matter. Your emotions are valid. Just full validation. Practice this every day because you do matter and your feelings matter. And the more you encourage that, the more you grow your self-value and become your best friend. When you're faced with a threat, you have your best friend with you telling you it's okay to feel. So when that threat comes along, when somebody judges you, criticizes you, and you feel that emotional surge in your mind, it's okay to feel. I'm allowed to feel. And to take it a step further, what I do is I actually do a physical motion with myself to remind myself to validate. So I always take my hand and I put it on my heart. So while somebody is triggering me, I just do this. They don't see anything, they just see this. But in my head, I'm saying, Tanya, you're allowed to feel. It's okay to feel. Just be with your emotions. What happens to our brain when we're perceiving a threat, emotional, physical, whatever, is we go on high beta, and that is survival. So you can't start thinking about things and analyzing stuff, and your survival mechanism, what you respond to, is gonna be immediate. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, all of those. Your immediate response is a natural response. So it's okay to have that. So if let's say you're somebody that's fight, and you notice yourself raising your voice because you're about to fight, recognize it right away. It's okay to feel. You're allowed to feel. You'll notice everything just calming down. I highly recommend you practice this because you cannot become a master at something if you never practice it. Think about in the wild, okay? Let's say you're walking and you hear like rustling in the leaves. You're gonna freeze. You're gonna run, you're gonna fight, you're gonna do all of those things. You're not gonna start responding and saying, listen, bear, let's have a conversation. I think that it's not okay that you are attacking. No, we can't do that. Our brain is wired to protect ourselves. So an emotional threat is a little different than a physical threat. But if you stop yourself and listen to the sounds, like picture yourself in that triggered moment, use your senses. That's what you would do in the wild. If you're walking in the forest and you hear the rustling in the leaves, you're gonna use your senses to spot the danger. Do the same thing in that moment. Listen to the sounds around you. Do body scans. Listen to your body. Where am I feeling this pain? Become hyper aware. It's not disassociation. It's reconnecting with yourself. And then hyper validate. It's okay to feel. You're allowed to feel. And after that, when you notice yourself calm, you'll be able to tell that person, I need to step away right now. And then while you're away, practice your responses. Think about what they said or didn't say that you didn't like. So for example, I didn't like that they disrespected me. What is the opposite of that? Well, the opposite is I like when they respect me. So then when you approach the person later, you can tell them what you do like. You're setting some healthy boundaries without attacking their personality so they don't get defensive. You're not telling them what you don't like, you're telling them what you need. And a really good response, by the way, it's not from me. I don't know who I heard this from, but it was somebody on TikTok. They said, repeat the insult that they gave you. So if somebody insults you and is like, what's wrong with you? Go, what's wrong with you? Repeat it to their face. So whatever they say it as a question. And you are now mirroring their disrespect and they're gonna be able to analyze that and see how messed up what they just said is. And if they don't, and they keep saying it and you keep repeating it, you could do the self-regulation that we just talked about. And then you walk away and you're going to walk straight to your phone or your bookstore and you're going to go get my book. Squeezing a little self-promotion in there. How to Own Your Shit, Mastering Self-Projection, which teaches you about how to regulate yourself, how to set some healthy boundaries with people, and how not to own what other people think, feel, and their judgments and opinions of you. It is very empowering.